Since The Flash, and probably the whole Arrowverse, is coming to an end, it makes sense that the show would find a way to bring back the character who started it all. Oliver Queen's return to the Arrowverse in The Flash Season 9 has been the subject of many theories. After months of talk and how likely it was that Green Arrow would show up for one last time, it was finally confirmed that the Emerald Archer would be there for the end of Barry Allen's story. In the 9th episode of The Flash Season 9, Stephen Amell is set to play Oliver Queen again. How Stephen Amell returns as Green Arrow in Flash Season 9. Oliver is a lot more than just the first hero in the Arrowverse. He played a big part in making Grant Gustin's character the superhero he is now. Since he was an important part of Barry's journey, he is a natural choice for the last season. But it's not clear how he'll fit into the show now that Oliver is dead. Still, the Arrowverse has a lot of ways to bring him back. First, the Speed Force uses an Oliver Queen disguise, or Oliver Queen appears as a hallucination. The Speed Force is one of the most likely ways that Amell will show up in Season 9. In the first few seasons, it made it easy for Barry to talk to people from his past. Since it came back to life, the Speed Force has always shown up as Nora Allen. But the fact that it has always looked like people Barry cares about makes it possible that it could use Oliver's face. Even though this could be a touching moment for Barry, it would be a letdown for those who want the real Oliver Queen to come back. The Flash showrunner, Eric Wallace, said that Amell would be joining the show by saying Grant and Steven will save the world together again. This suggests that Amell will do more than just give Barry advice as the Speed Force. Bloodwork, aka Ramsey Russo, will be back on the show at the same time as Amell's guest appearance. The fact that Oliver and the Flash Season 6's villain were in the same episode raised some red flags, since Ramsey can make his victims have hallucinations to trick them. And since Diggle and Wally West are both expected to show up in the 9th episode along with the Arrowverse characters who are coming back, it has been said that Bloodwork is behind everything. From a story point of view, it does make sense for Bloodwork to use Barry's relationship with Wally, Diggle, and Oliver to control him, but it's not the best choice for the same reason that Oliver coming back as the Speed Force would be a problem. Next, Barry travels back in time, or Barry meets a Green Arrow doppelganger. Barry has learned a lot about the dangers of time travel from his mistakes in past seasons, but that hasn't stopped the idea from being used as a plot device over and over again. Barry Allen, played by Grant Gustin, could find himself going back to different times in his life for one reason or another. If that's true, it would explain why Barry will meet Wally, Diggle, Oliver, and Bloodwork all in the same episode. If Barry's situation is bad enough, he might be willing to take a chance and ask Oliver for help while he is in the past. Going in this direction may be the only way for Arrowverse to make sure that the Flash and Green Arrow can work together well in Season 9. If Barry really does go back in time when Oliver was alive in Star City, what he finds may be very different from what most people remember about the past. It's important to remember that when Crisis on Infinite Earths brought the multiverse back to life, Oliver's history as the Green Arrow changed in many ways. Moira Queen and Tommy Merlin, for example, have never died, and Diggle has 2 kids. Oliver's changed past hasn't been explored in the Arrowverse yet, but a time travel story with Green Arrow could make that possible for Season 9. Since Crisis on Infinite Earths, The Flash has tried to stay away from doppelgangers and other universes, but recent events show that they are still around in the multiverse. At the end of the crossover, it seemed like the only other Earths in the new multiverse were those with characters from DC's other shows. But the Superman and Lois Season 2 finale proved that Earth Prime doesn't stand on its own. Since Superman and Lois takes place on a copy of Earth Prime, it's possible that there are more like it. One timeline could have Oliver Queen living and being the Green Arrow. The fact that Red Death seems to be in the alternate timeline is more evidence for it. Set photos show that Ryan Wilder, who played Batwoman, will be back in Season 9 of The Flash as a gender-swapped version of Red Death. In the comics, Red Death is a bad version of Batman who steals the Speed Force from Barry Allen on his Earth and goes to war with the Justice League. And the fact that these photos show 2 versions of Batwoman fighting each other makes it more likely that the story is taking place in an alternate timeline. If so, Oliver Queen from Season 9 of The Flash could be from Red Death's Earth. The final theory, Oliver Queen returns as the Spectre. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, Green Arrow did die, but it's possible that the Spectre is still alive. Oliver changed into the classic DC Comics cosmic being just in time for the final showdown with the Anti-Monitor in the crossover event. When he brought the multiverse back to life, the Spectre may have reformed somewhere else in the multiverse. Recent Arrowverse canon comics have hinted that this is what will happen to the Spectre after the crisis. Oliver being the Spectre in Season 9 wouldn't be a problem for the Arrowverse timeline since Oliver would still be alive in some way. It's not a secret that he'll meet Felicity again in the afterlife in 2040, so the Flash can use the Spectre in a present-day story without taking away from or ruining Arrow's series finale. Even though he and Barry have worked together for years, he can still get his happy ending with Felicity. If that's the case, Spectre can definitely be a part of Season 9, but someone as powerful as Spectre wouldn't get involved unless the universe was in danger. Next up, we talk about every Arrowverse character returning in The Flash Season 9. First, Hartley Rathaway, Pied Piper, Piper, and Ramsey Rosso, bloodwork. Hartley Rathaway, also known as the Pied Piper, will be back in the next season of The Flash. He's a holdover from when the Flash was much stronger than his enemies. Hartley, who was played by Andy Mintus, first showed up in Season 1, where he threatened Team Flash with his control over sound waves. Hartley was made a hero and an ally of the Flash after some multiverse events, but he hasn't been seen on the show since Season 6. In the first trailer for Season 9, the Pied Piper makes a brief appearance. Barry begs him for help, even though Hartley says he has nothing to live for. Now that The Flash is coming to an end with Season 9, the showrunners are finally raising the stakes by bringing back Sendil Ramamurthy's bloodwork, aka Ramsey Rosso. This scary supervillain has the uncanny ability to control blood. He has even used this power to take over the Flash for a short time. Bloodwork has been locked up since his first spree in Season 6, but now that he is coming back, it looks like he will finally get his chance to get back at Team Flash for beating him. Rosso's return hasn't been talked about much, but it's sure to be as exciting as his first arc in Season 6. Next, Ryan Wilder, Batwoman, and Nia Nal, Dreamer. In The Flash's 9th season, Javicia Leslie is one of several Arrowverse alumni who will be back. There are rumors that she will play the Batman villain Red Death. Leslie played Ryan Wilder, aka Batwoman, in the 2nd and 3rd seasons of Batwoman. She took over for Ruby Rose's character, Kate Kane, before the show was cancelled. It's not clear if Leslie's original character will also show up in Season 9 of The Flash with her evil speedster counterpart, but the fact that Red Death is there should be enough to make you wonder about the plot of the next season. If the Red Death does show up, she might be the season's main bad guy. Nicole Maines, who used to be on Supergirl, will also be back on The Flash as Nia Nal, aka Dreamer. This adds to the rumors that Dreamer will get her own Arrowverse show. Since the end of Supergirl in late 2021, Dreamer and a lot of other characters from that show haven't been seen much in the Arrowverse. Her amazing set of powers will come in handy when she teams up with The Flash. But this is the first time that the two characters have worked together without Supergirl. Dreamer's main role in The Flash could still mean that Kara or other Supergirl characters will show up, but fans will have to wait and see if this is true. Finally, John Diggle, Spartan, and Wally West, Kid Flash. David Ramsey will once again play John Diggle, aka Spartan, from Earth Prime. This is part of his pattern of making cameos in the Arrowverse after the end of Arrow. This confirms that Diggle will become a Green Lantern after finding a strange green space rock in the last episode of the Arrow show. Since the end of his original show, Diggle has made several cameos on The Flash. Each one has added to his Green Lantern storyline. Even though his last appearance seemed to end the storyline because the lanterns seemed to be destroyed, The Flash's final season may be the Arrowverse's last chance to make John Diggle a Green Lantern. After more than 2 years away from the Arrowverse, Kynyon Lonsdale is finally coming back to The Flash as Wally West. He even missed The Flash's 150th special episode in Season 7. In the first few seasons of The Flash, West played Kid Flash, Barry's sidekick. He eventually left the show though. Wally hasn't been seen much in the Arrowverse since the years since, except for a short time on Legends of Tomorrow. After ignoring Wally for years, his recently announced appearance in Season 9 gives The Flash one last chance to wrap up his story in a satisfying way. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Let's hope the final season lives up to the hype. Thanks for your time, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.